Yes, people. Big games, big opinion, nothing held back. Welcome to the Football Talk Shop, where the ball does the talking, and I'm your host, Akbos. And with me on this one, I've got my brother, my co-host, Steve, the AussieGooner. Bro, good to have you back on the channel. How are you feeling after the 1-1 draw with Manchester City and the Emirates?
Well, thanks for having me, man. Big up to everybody who's watching this. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Trying to grow this channel, trying to grow all our channels. So if you could, please do that. Support the upcoming YouTubers. My vibes on this game, you know my vibes. I picked a similar lineup that I didn't want to see, which was a pairing of Mikel Merino and Declan Rice. I said it before and I'll say it again. Merino ain't no baller. Yeah. And there was no creativity. So unfortunately, I was let down, man. 1:30 in the morning, I saw that lineup, man. Let down when I saw that lineup. And to be honest, it was so tragic that Mikel Arteta made changes 45 minutes in. Now, he wasted 45 minutes of a game so he could run Mikel Merino and Declan Rice, two like-for-like midfielders side by side, where against Liverpool, I know I'm ranting, against Liverpool, they did fuck all. Against Bilbao, if it wasn't for the 70-minute substitutions, fuck all. Right? Against Manchester City, fuck all. And if you want, I can pull more stats. Bournemouth, I can pull stats on Liverpool last year. This midfield pairing should only ever get onto the pitch when we're leading 2-0 and it's 80 minutes Akpos. This midfield pairing shouldn't be on the pitch when you're trying to win a game. Any Arsenal fan looked at that lineup now and flipped out. Eze, bench. Ethan Nwaneri, bench. Why wasn't Ethan starting? Guys in the chat, everybody who's watching this over, comment. Why didn't Ethan start at the 10 and Eze play on the left-hand side with Madueke? Why didn't Ethan start? What's wrong with Ethan Nwaneri? Please tell me what's wrong with him. Please tell me that when we made the substitutions and Saka came on for Madueke got injured, right? Okay. Shit happens, right? Why couldn't Ethan come on? Why couldn't Ethan come on? Why couldn't Eze go to the left, Ethan go in the center, and Saka stay on the right? What's wrong with Ethan Nwaneri? What's wrong with him? Everybody wants him. Why can't we field him? Huh? Is there something wrong with Ethan Nwaneri? Like, honestly, Akpos, I'm gutted. Because this is 3 points dropped. City weren't playing good. We just made them look good. Literally made them look good. And you know what's hilarious? Everyone in the chat, everyone's blaming Gabriel for the goal, right? Watch it back. All the way to the start. Where Mikel Merino and Declan Rice had a calamity in the midfield. To lose the ball, drag Zubimendi right up their asses, and then Manchester City broke. So before we talk about Gabriel and Saliba, understandable, explain to me how the two big men, because he didn't want to lose a game, he fielded Moreno and Rice because he didn't want to lose a game. And I hope someone is watching right now, Akpos. You know who I'm talking about. You know? If you know, you know. He fielded these two fuckwits so that way he didn't lose a game. Yeah? Explain to me how these two fuckwits in the middle of the park lost the ball and allowed Haaland to fucking break. It's funny how after fucking Eze came on, Manchester City really didn't have anything when Declan Rice and Eze were there. Huh? Two big boys weren't there and they couldn't hold on to the ball. I'm gutted, man. I'm gutted. Literally. I'm sorry for ranting, but right?
It's okay to rant, my brother. It's okay, to express your disappointment with the result, and yet again a missed opportunity to get all 3 points, to get all maximum points in a game where we could have started a better selection in terms of the midfield combination, in a game where we could have gone out there, and this was a team that was there for the taking. It's yet again a Manchester City team that their defense have been leaking out goals, and we expected the manager to set up in a very offensive style, in a very offensive selection, to go out there and get all 3 points. And to see that midfield pairing of Mikel Merino, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. For me, I was, disappointed. I expected something like this to happen. I expected the midfielder to go again with that midfield three. But I think it's sometimes disappointing when you see managers who have these issues facing them directly in their front and they can't see it. And you ask yourself this question: is this something that they are seeing in training sections that you do not see because you don't see?
Oh, I think we lost Akpos there, guys. I think we lost Akpos. Are you there, my guy? Are you there, my guy? I think we've lost Akpos, guys. I think we've lost him. But what Akpos is probably trying to say right now is that are we not behind closed doors? Behind closed doors, who are we? Unfortunately, behind closed doors, we're not seeing exactly what's going on. Now, understandably, that's completely understandable. But the issue that we have is that on the pitch, ladies and gentlemen, on the pitch, Akpos is back. On the pitch, we see what's going on. And you're back. You're there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
His internet connection today isn't the best. You're frozen again, my guy. You're frozen again, my guy. You keep freezing, bro. You keep freezing. The internet connection's not the best, my guy. You keep freezing, Akpos. People want to hear from you, but you're frozen, my guy. You're frozen. You're frozen. Guys, I'm going to take over this. So, with the game the way it was going, I mean, before the game even started, everybody, and I think every single gooner that was out there looked at this lineup and just was wondering what was the go. How does Leandro Trossard get a call up, right? Are you back, Akpos?
Yeah. Good to be back again, my brother. I was getting some technicals and a call coming in also to disrupt the internet connection, but good to be back on the stream. But I was just saying, yet again, this was another missed opportunity for us to get all 3 points, another missed opportunity for us to we were in a game where Manchester City was there for the taking. Manchester City team are not performing at their very best. This is not the Manchester City of old. This is not the Manchester City of old that has been, putting teams to the sword. So when we see the manager not play the best team from the get-go, it is surprising. It becomes disappointing. And this is not something that is happening for the first time. We have been seeing this happen time after time, where you see the manager have a team that you would say, okay, they're better players who could, get in the first 11, being put on the bench, and the manager putting out a starting 11 that should not be a starting 11 that contains players who should be on the bench that are coming in late into the game to see off the game. And like you rightly pointed out, we had 2 attacking midfielders on the bench in this game. We had Ethan Nwaneri, we had Eberechi Eze, who came into the game and created the goal that Gabriel Martinelli finished fantastically well. So in my opinion, I think the manager almost threw this game away, and the quality we have at our disposal bailed the manager out of the mess that he puts this team in. Time and time over time, we've seen the manager do this. And for me, I am praying, I'm hoping that we will not see this midfield combination going into the rest part of the season. But deep down, with the trend and the pattern and style we've seen from this manager, we know that it's still going to happen again. We are still going to see Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, and Martin Zubimendi start in a game when you expect to win. You don't win games when you don't score goals. And having a midfield like that, you know that midfield would not create opportunities for you because you're asking these players to do things that they don't have the skill set to do. Declan Rice is a number 6. You are playing him in a number 8 position. Mikel Merino is a number 8, who I think, in my opinion, is not suited to playing that number 8 position for Arsenal. So when you have him in a creative position and have Declan Rice also in the other advanced midfield position, your team would definitely suffer in terms of the creative side of the game. So I think the manager set the team up in a very pragmatic way, and I'm hoping that we will not see it, but I know deep down we will see it. But bro, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts with the changes we saw when eventually we saw a number 10 coming into the midfield in Iberici Eze? What are your thoughts?
Well, he had to. He had to. See, the reason why, and look, don't get it twisted, guys. I'm going to tell you the guys the way it works. The reason why he starts Merino and Rice, don't think he's stupid. All right, let me break it down real quick before I tell you what I think about Eze. We all know what I think about Eze. Eze, that goes without saying, man. But let me just say this. Declan Rice has to start with £100 million transfer window, a transfer fee, right? He has to start. He has to start. That's fair enough. Mikel Merino has to start because this is the same idiot that went to friggin' Josh Kroenke and said, I've got to have him. Just like he said for Kai Havertz, I've got to have him. So what he's doing now is he's playing him because if he doesn't, that's Fabio Vieira. I've got to have him. Remember Fabio Vieira? He's gone. Had to have him, right? Kai Havertz had to have him. Jesus had to have him. And guess what else he had to have? He had to have Moreno. So he's playing Moreno because if he doesn't, the upper management's going to look and say, wait a minute, there's your boy. Why aren't you playing him? Right? But anyway, what do I think about Eze? Eze should have started. Eze should have started. Where should Eze have started? On the left side. On the left. Ethan Nwaneri in the middle, and you pick Moreno or Rice. Now, I would probably say, and this is going to sound a bit silly, I would have picked Moreno over Rice in this game, beside Ethan Nwaneri. On the left. I probably would have rather him on the left. And then see how it goes after 45. But when Eze came in, what happened? Simple. The midfield started to have structure. You had your number 6, your sweeper, right? You had your number 8, out and out 8. I'm a box to box. That's all I'm going to do. And then you had your number 10. And so now the 6 can distribute to the 10. The 6 can distribute to the 8 in a maybe a little bit, maybe of a less advanced role, while the 10 is further forward and an option for the 8. Now, what I find hilarious is that there was nothing happening for 45 bloody minutes between Mikel Merino and Declan Rice. And how long have these two guys been playing side by side? Can you let me know, Akpos? How many? It's been a season now? A full season?
Over a season now. Yeah, over a season now.
Right? Over a season. 45 minutes. 45 fucking minutes of these two guys on the pitch. And it's happened before. Right, guys? 45 minutes. These two guys on the pitch and nothing happened. What happened? Eze comes on. Eze. All of a sudden, the game changes dynamic. The right-hand side starts to look a bit better. And what happens? He plays a ball over the top to Gabriel Martinelli, right? Over the top to Gabriel Martinelli for him to get out on goal and to score. Not Mikel Merino, not Declan Rice. Neither one of those two were involved in that goal. Neither one. And that's what gets to me. What gets to me is that he had a perfectly good number 10. Not 1, 2. We need to free Ethan Nwaneri. Because let me tell you another thing, guys. Before I give it back to Akpos. When Martin Odegaard comes back to Arsenal, right, and he's being forced to play number 10 when he's a number 8, because that's a fact. He wears the number 8 because he's a number 8. Eze wears a 10 because he's a 10. Declan is a 6, faking an 8. He's a fake 8. Moreno is a fake 10. He's an 8, right? But when Odegaard comes back and he struggles on the right-hand side, he'll continue to play him. He'll continue to play him over Eze and over Nwaneri. He will. I need this manager to wake the fuck up and understand that you have way too many number 8s in your team. And the funny thing is, guys, guess what position Mikel Arteta used to play? He used to play number 8. And this is a number 8 who can't even pick a fucking midfield. He can't even pick a fucking midfield. He can't. He's got so many number 8s now, expensive ones. He doesn't know what to do. So he replaces the number 10 with an 8. With a fucking 8. And that's the reason why we're in trouble now. And Josh, look at your squad. Berta, look at your squad. Look. Odegaard is an 8. I want to see Eze as a 10, Odegaard as an 8, Zubimendi as a 6. And I'm telling you guys right here, if Odegaard's an 8, Eze is a 10, Zubi is a 6, right? On the left-hand side, I don't care who you put. You could put Saka on the left. You could put Madueke on the right. And you could put Gyökeres in the middle, and I'm telling you now, you guys want to see goals? I'm telling you 3-4 goals per game all day. And they will destroy teams. Destroy teams. And it'll be easy. But you know what that takes? It takes someone to say, sorry, I was wrong, which doesn't usually happen if you know what I mean, Akpos, right? And for him to adjust. And that's what should be happening. Eze came on, bro. Eze came on. Saka had to come on, yeah? And Ethan should have come on. But anyway, Trossard shouldn't have even been on the pitch. Trossard did not deserve to be on that pitch. He's lucky he didn't get a yellow card. He's lucky. Very lucky.
Bro, I think we are all in agreement when we talk about the midfield combination, and this one is coming from Arsenal. Above all, shout out, big up, big up, big up, big up.
Big up,
And
bro.
saying there's no way on earth or any galaxy where Merino should start ahead of AZ and Ethan. It only happens at Arsenal with Mikel Arteta at the ends of the affair. And it says Arteta is cutting his nose off to spite his face and forgets wasting 45 minutes. And bro, you see all of the urgency that we saw from Mikel Arteta afterwards when he put us in yet again another mess that was practically avoidable, because you saw him making all the right calls, bringing in all the players that you have expected him to have started the game with, and you wonder what's going on with the manager. And I was saying on one of the WhatsApp groups that I'm in, like, what is Mikel Arteta really scared of? What's going on with the Arteta that we saw playing expansive football, using his offensive and attacking players to their full capacity? What has gone wrong? Can we say it is the near misses, the second position three times now? All of these things crept into gotten under his sleeve and made the manager go into a shell. Is he afraid of losing now? What do you think? What do you think has gone wrong with Mikel Arteta? Because this is not the style that we saw from him at some point when he took over the aims of affair as Arsenal manager. But all of a sudden, he has gone into a manager that would not want to go all out to win the game. What do you think has gone wrong, bro? In your own thoughts, in your own words.
Well, I think what's happened is he went and spent up big on players that he didn't know what he was buying. So when we bought Declan Rice, don't get it twisted, was a replacement for Thomas Partey. We all knew it, right? We all knew it. Big up, Brenny, big up. Now, unfortunately, Martin Odegaard needed a partner, so we never replaced Granit Xhaka. So then, in his infinite wisdom, he thought he's going to turn a number 6 into a number 8. Okay? And that's what happened there. Now, when it came to Zubimendi, the Zubimendi deal was done in January, right? Before Berta. Because Berta probably would have looked at that and said, Rice is your 6. Rice is going to have to be your 6, and you get a younger 6, that's it. But we already bought that 6. So the problem he has is he's trying to accommodate midfielders, right, that he's purchased, but unfortunately, it's wreaking havoc with our attack. Now, at the present time, the number 6 position is fine with Zubimendi. He's a ball-playing 6. He's good. His problem is he's number 8 and he's number 10. Now, the number 8 and the number 10, these are the guys are your workhorses. They're going to play on the right wing and the left wing. They're in a double pivot. If you put 2 like-for-like midfielders in there that are more defensive-minded and slow, you don't get anything. And here's a fun fact, guys. Listen to this. Premier League stats. Let me give you some Premier League stats. In games where Rice and Moreno have been side by side, let me give you some stats. We lost against Bournemouth 2-0. We drew against Liverpool 2-2. We drew against Everton 0-0. We drew against Brighton 1-1. We drew against Aston Villa 2-2. We drew against Everton 1-1. We won against Ipswich. Wow. We lost against Liverpool 1-0. Almost stuffed up against Bilbao and drew against Manchester City 1-1. Now, if that doesn't scream that we are in trouble, one, defensively, we all say we've got a good defense, right? Can I just jump into it? We've got a good defense. Can we all agree on that? Akpos, do we have a good defense?
Yeah, we do.
So explain to me, So explain to me, when I put two big bricks in the midfield, why against Liverpool 2-2, against Aston Villa 2-2, against Brighton 1-1, against Everton again 1-1, why are we leaking goals with these two guys side by side? Why? I thought they were supposed to shut out a game. So everybody that wants to sit there now, right, and tell me that these guys are to shut out a game, and you know who I'm talking about right now, yeah, and that we should do it only in away games, yeah, go fuck yourself, because you're a fucking moron, right? You're an absolute fucking twit. And these two guys, when they're together, we leak goals. Our defenders leak goals. We leaked a goal now at Manchester City because Merino and Rice lost the ball in the middle of the park. This is the problem with Mikel. His issue is that he bought Declan Rice, a good midfielder, very expensive, and then he went out and bought Merino. What for? If Merino was for squad depth and rotation, fair enough. But he went in there screaming that he was going to be the guy. And that's what's costing us now. That's why he's doing it. He's doing it to save face. He's doing it because he went to Josh and said, I want Merino. So Josh is like, okay, here you go. Go get him. Now what do you do? In that situation, Akpos, you went out there and said, I want Rice, I want Merino. They're both fit. What do you do? Now, Berta knew we needed a 10. Berta came in and said, you guys need a 10. Fucking earth, we need a 10, Berta. Thank you. You're for the club. You're for the badge, not for the name on the back. Right? What would you do if you put your name on Mikel Merino, Fabio Vieira, and Declan Rice, yeah, and then bought Zubimendi? Remember, Zubimendi is his purchase. What do you do? If management's watching, what do? You field them, right? Big money, Akpos. He spent a lot of money. Look, Mikel Merino was like £40 million. I think Fabio Vieira was like £35 million. Them two alone is nearly £80 million. Them two alone. Declan Rice is over £100 million.
And we
bought Odegaard as well.
We don't want to talk about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz was also a midfield signing. If we want to call it spade a spade.
Because he was supposed to play 8, right? He plays 8 sometimes. He plays on the left-hand side of the midfield. So all these players that he bought, Martin Odegaard. He's got Martin Odegaard. How much was Martin Odegaard? 50 or 40? Something like that. 50 or 40 for Martin Odegaard. 100 million for Declan Rice. Fabio Vieira and Moreno together probably cost about 70 million, or let's say 80 to be fair. There's over 250 million pound in midfielders there. And you know what the fucking funny thing is? Not one of them is creative.
Exactly. And if I would put up this one from Brenny, shout out to the legend, Brenny K. And if you've not subscribed to Brenny's channel, you should follow. Check out the brother. He's doing fantastic work out there. Brenny's a legend, a man that is filled with Arsenal history. I will call him the Arsenal encyclopedia. And this one is coming from Brenny. He says the cowardly from the manager, not going to win titles with this cowardice. And Brenny is spot on with this one, because for me, I think, and why it's very disappointing for me, it's there's even nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be afraid of this Manchester City team. We have even faced them when they were at their peak. If you were scared of that Man City team, then I would consider, but we've faced that Man City that was, the high-flying machine, and we have even started with more fight and more aggressiveness in our belly. But we are seeing a team that is there for the taking, and you are showing them respect that you should not be showing them in no planet, in no way you should be respecting the Manchester City team that way. So this one is spot on for Brenny. We are not going to win a title with this kind of approach, in my opinion, and I'm hoping the manager would learn as much as possible, because this midfield combination, like Steve said, it did not start today. It's not something that we've seen just in one game only. And according to the statistics, I think over 10 games now, and we've only seen one win come out from that midfield combination. And we just hope that this would be the last time we'll see it, even though something deep inside me tell me this is not going to be the last one. But like Brenny is saying, enough is enough. We hope that enough will be enough with respect to the midfield combination, because for me, I think it's a no-no when you have a lot of quality players that would get this team attacking, that will get this team scoring goals, because you will not win the football games that you don't score goals in. And we know that midfield combination will not create opportunity, will not create outlets, will not create the situation that would free up our wingers, that would free up our number 9 to put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm just hoping that the manager would stop making the job even more difficult for this team, because right now we already need to play catch with the league leaders in Liverpool. But let's talk about a little bit about City now, Steve. I think after they scored that goal, they went into packing the boss mode. And if this was Arsenal, it will be a big talking point out there. And for me, it tells us how also there is the power shift has happened in the Premier League, where you see a Pep Guardiola side playing all their players behind the ball and trying to sit deep and trying to, dig deep and come out of the game with a 1-goal lead. A lot of people have been, screaming at the top of their voice, 1-0 to the Arsenal, but we saw a Pep Guardiola team trying to play very defensive today. What are your thoughts about the power shifts happening now in the Premier League, and where this Pep Guardiola team currently sits?
Well, that power shift, it's clear and obvious, right?
Mm.
We literally shot ourselves in the foot, and they could only muster 1 goal. One goal. Okay, it was almost enough to win the game. But you're right. He set up. He was starting to set up in a way. When Haaland came off, and I saw that substitution, I laughed. I went up, and I said it on stream on the Armory. A guy is parking the bus, right? Pep Guardiola parking the bus and trying to take a 1-0 lead all the way to the end of the Emirates. Look at the quality on the pitch. Look at the quality. A lot of quality on the pitch. Donnarumma in goal. Defensively, Stones on the bench, Ake on the bench. They had players. But it shows that even he looks at this squad and says, if this fool actually fields the right players, I'm fucked. But if he does, if Pep Guardiola left Manchester City, came over to Arsenal with these players, we would win the Premier League. We would win. Because Liverpool have been good. They haven't been great. They haven't been great. They've been good. They haven't been great. Wirtz has been laughable. Ekitike has been great. But that's about it. Their wingers, useless. They're not the same Liverpool, but they're scraping the wins. We could have had 3 points against them. The power shift is obvious because the other managers look at Arsenal and say, shit, they got a squad. Shit, have they got depth. But the problem is the guy who's controlling the team, the lineup, he's not all there at the moment. He isn't. And I want him to succeed. I want him to win. I want Merino to do good and Rice to do good, but they can't side by side. I don't blame Merino. I don't blame Rice. I blame the guy who put them on the pitch together. That's who I blame. And the guy who put them on the pitch together is only doing it because you stuck your neck out for Merino, just like you did for Fabio Vieira. Admit it, Mikel. And in the comments, there's one there that's saying, no one complained when I put the same midfield against Bilbao. Yeah? Now, no one complained. You got scared shitless that you couldn't fucking beat Bilbao, that you had to make a fucking substitution, right? Because if you didn't, it was all over. It was all over. We created fuck all at Bilbao. Gyökeres got no service at Bilbao. He got no service for City. No service. No service whatsoever. And at the moment, to be perfectly honest, the power shift, we could be that team that everyone's scared of. But because we have this guy doing stupidness, we can still get something from it. If we had a manager that would use the players that we have, dude, Liverpool would be doing this right now. Because let's be honest, that's 3 points dropped here. We should have had 3 here. And against Liverpool, they fielded who on the right-hand side? Szoboszlai. And we didn't even push him to we didn't. Did we test him? No, we didn't test him. We never went for that weakness. Whether as if it was us, what does the team do? Thomas Partey's playing right back. You know what we'll do?
Exactly.
Let's flood Partey. That's the problem. We could be up there. We've got the squad. I hate to say it. I've got nothing against the owners. Nothing. But Mikel, guess what? What they're going to say at the end of the season when you fuck up is they're going to say, we gave you everything that you needed to succeed here. Unfortunately, we're going to have to part ways amicably. And that's what's going to happen. The next thing that's going to happen is the next team that he goes to, I'm sorry, they're not going to give you £1 billion. No, and they're not going to give you 6 years. So with this mentality, this season's fucked. I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but it's fucked because it doesn't take a genius to see what's going on. Guys, it doesn't. Bilbao shouldn't phase us, Akpos. They shouldn't phase us. I'm not Arteta out. Fuck that, man. Yeah, see, look,
Arsenal above all is agreeing with your point with respect to Bilbao, the midfield pairing, and why we should not see it happen again moving forward. And you know, another thing that eats me up with this midfield situation, Steve, it's we have quality now. We have a lot of quality now.
In abundance.
We do not need to see. You know, when it was happening last season, people had this excuse for Mikel Arteta that it was due to the injuries, that it was due to the players he had available at his disposal. But now we are seeing it happen. Exactly. But now we are seeing it happen even when he has two number 10. Because if you say Ethan Nwaneri is not ready for a game that big, for example, if that's the excuse, is they not ready to play as the number 10 against Manchester City? So, you know, I think people who are making excuses for Mikel Arteta are running out of excuse that they can make. Valid excuse, logical excuse. They are running out of excuses. And it will be a thing of shame that we have a squad that is this filled with quality and we would watch football that is not enjoyable, because for the first half it was pretty much like what we saw against Bilbao in Spain, but immediately he brought in a number 10. I was saying it on the Amory chat that, gents, did you enjoy watching your team playing in the second half when a number 10 came on? And you know, I got positive response. So but for me, I want to see Arsenal play football that we enjoy. Yes, we want to win. And also, we want to see good football because we have the players that can play good football. We have the players that can also get the result done if playing good football would not get us the 3 points that we need with respect to the opposition. But what are your thoughts about Saka's cameo in this game? Because a lot of us were concerned with Saka not, you know, having too much role to play in this game because we do not want to throw him back into the fire and all of that. But with how the manager started the team from the get-go, we needed Saka to come into the game and make impact. And when he come on, we saw that he was stretching the City defense. It was drawing fouls left, right, center. But what are your thoughts with respect to Saka's impact also as a substitute in this game?
Big up Bukayo Saka because I think he's still not fit. You could see it. His impact was as best as he could muster, and it was a lot. I'm worried, like, if Madueke's picked up a knock, if that's what it is, that he picked up a knock and that's why he was substituted, then fair play to Mikel. Fair play. If Noni Madueke had picked up a knock, fair play. 100% fair play. But if Noni Madueke didn't pick up a knock at all and he fielded Bukayo Saka, that's silly. It is. Because Noni was doing a job there. All the team needed was Ethan Nwaneri and Eze. Eze on the left, see you later, Trossard. Because let's be honest, what did Trossard do in that whole game? What did he do? Nothing. We were playing on one side. So Ethan Nwaneri in the center of the park, Eze on the left, Madueke on the right, Saka can watch. I would have loved that. But Saka, I'll give him credit. That guy bleeds Arsenal. My problem is that by the end of this season, I'm hoping that he can stay fit and solid for the next manager. Because I'll be straight with you guys. I'm not one to say Arteta out. No. I'm a businessman. It's bad business. So I'm sorry. I just don't want him injured. That's my only problem. He didn't look 100%. He didn't. But you got to give him credit. like even injured, like Ben White played injured, he's doing it, but he's not doing it for Arteta. He's doing it for that badge. And this is the reason why everyone loves Bukayo Saka. And you know that a kind of player like him, it doesn't matter if you're Real Madrid or Barcelona, they'd even come and knock on the door to try and get Bukayo Saka out of Arsenal. He loves the team too much. You can see it. For him to jump on, big up from him. I'd love to see. I would have loved to have seen Madueke finish that game, just not to risk Bukayo Saka. And I would have loved to have seen Ethan Nwaneri, and I would love to have seen Eze, Ethan Nwaneri, and Noni on the pitch, because guess what? I know it works. You know what I mean? It does work. It works. It does work. So maybe if we're lucky, we can see Saka on the left from now on. I don't know. That's where he started. I don't know.
And I think something some persons would have also loved to see today also was, maybe pushing Madueke to the left and having Saka on the right. That's something that, because like you rightly said, Trossard did not do enough to impact the attack from that left side. And maybe Madueke on the left and Saka on the right would have given the team so much more in terms of that attacking width that we really needed in that second half. But let's just hope that Madueke is not injured, that it was just a tactical substitution that was done there. But with respect to Ethan Nwaneri, for me, I think Mikel Arteta needs to show more trust with Ethan, because for how much we've seen Ethan play during the preseason and during this season so far, Ethan has shown what he can contribute to this team in terms of how he carries the ball from midfield to attack. He's willing to take on players. He's willing to, to take a shot or make a pass to free a teammate. So in my opinion, I don't know what Ethan needs to do for the manager to field him more, but I think the manager needs to show more trust in this young, talented player, because we've seen a manager like as the Wenger do it before with Arsenal, where we see young players coming through the rank and they have shown that this is what I can do, and the manager would repay that faith and show more trust in them. But you see Odegaard out injured, and the next in line without a natural left winger on the left now, which is supposed to be Ethan Nwaneri coming in that number 10 position, but he's being shoved to the corner. And you also have another number 10. If the number 10 if the person taking that slot now was Eze, I would not complain too much. But when you see a Mikel Merino coming into that position ahead of a Ethan Nwaneri, in my own opinion, in my own view, I would say I do not agree with such kind of decisions. So, but let's see what's going to happen. And this one is also coming from Brenny. Brenny says Saka on the left works, and not to those that believe in Arteta. But let's see what Arteta is going to do with respect to the attacking players that he has, how he's going to, get all of them into the starting 11 to get the job done. But I think it is good edict for the manager, but it depends on what the manager is going to make out of this quality players that we have that can play multiple positions, because I think we have a very good group in our hands right now, and players who would give a lot of other players a run for their money in certain positions. Because if you look at the left now, I think Eze can play there, Madueke can play there. You look at the right, Madueke can play there, Saka can play there, Ethan Nwaneri can play there, Max Dalman also can play there. So, but I just want to see the manager use the offensive quality that we have at our disposal. But what are your thoughts with respect to the goal that we conceded in this game, Steve? What are your thoughts with respect to the goal?
Well, with respect to the goal, we got to watch it back. Much like you watch the assist from Eze, where it started, that's how you watch a goal when you concede. So everyone looks at the assist. Oh, look where it started from. 4 or 5 passes. Boom. Looks great on the attack. Whenever you concede a goal, look where it started. Where did it start? Merino and Rice fighting over the ball in the midfield. Neither one of them could hold on to the ball, dragging Zubimendi. All three of them were pretty much side by side. All three in the middle of the park. It was like an under 10s game where the kids are just chasing the ball. The whole team chases the ball. That's how it was. And when that happened, and they lost the ball, Zubimendi was out of position. Declan Rice and Mikel Merino, because they're so fast, they were not even in the frame when Haaland scored. That's how slow they were in transition, which is a big deal. Which is another reason why we keep conceding goals with them, because they're slow to transition. But we won't get into that. So we considered that goal very easily. There's not much Gabriel could do. A lot of people, look at Gabriel. What the hell do you want him to fucking do? They were outnumbered. 2 defenders with Haaland pulling to the left. If he takes, everyone goes, take Haaland out. If he takes Haaland out, we're down to 10 men. And the game is done. Is done. 1 goal, you can come back. We got the players. Gabriel did what he could do, which was cover the best he could, and hope that Raya can put his hands on it. What he should have done is, after that, go over to the midfielders and slap both Declan Rice and Mikel Merino in the head and grab Zubimendi and say, remember, you're a fucking 6. You stay in front of us. You don't box in with the 2 number 8s. So that was a midfield calamity. So before anyone wants to push on the defense, midfield issue. Watch it back, and take away all your agendas. Look at it. It's pound for pound, it's there. That midfield, look at the stats, guys. If you want to know the stats, jump onto Sky Sports. The stats I've just thrown out there are from Sky Sports. Look at the amount of goals we've conceded with these 2 side by side. That's what happened. And that's what happened here. It's to be accepted. It didn't happen against Bilbao because Bilbao couldn't score against us. But Liverpool did. Liverpool did. Liverpool scored. So they conceded there. And they conceded here. The same amount of goals. Is that the defenders that are no good? No. Look, I hate to say it. The midfield let us down in this game. It did. It let us down. Not the defenders. Not the defenders, bro. The defenders are... Look at Yuri and Timber in this game, bro. Look at Calafiori in this game.
And bro, if I would take it back a little bit to something that happened also in the second half when Eze came on into the game in the second half, there was a sequence where we lost the ball and we needed to recover back, and you could see how faster our midfield was in terms of that recovery, and Eze was in the position to nick the ball away, and I think it was in that play when it was trying to clear the ball, and the ball came off Declan Rice, and we considered a corner kick from there. But you could see the legs that he had to, switch, transition from defense to attack, from attack to defending, and he was able to come back deep to, get our defense out of trouble. And I think this is also one of the concerns a lot of us has with playing Mikel Merino in the midfield, because of how slow he is and how it is a liability when we have to move quickly from an attacking position to a defending position, because we know he's not one of the fastest players and he struggles in this situation. And you rightly hit the nail on the head. When we were trying to get back, it was in nowhere around the picture at the end of the day when the ball went in the back of the net. So let's hope that the manager will sort out, all of these lapses with respect to the midfield, because we know that the defense is rock solid. We have one of the best goalkeepers also in the division. So I think we will not want to put this down to the defensive shape, but more on, the wall before the defense that fell off, all like a pack of paper during the heat of the action. So, but also credit to Erling Haaland with how he dispatched the goal, because that was a very clinical finishing from Erling Haaland, and you don't want to give strikers like that that kind of situation and opportunities to put the ball on the back of the net. But we are where we are right now, bro. We are a couple of points behind Liverpool now. I think it's 5. It could have been 6, right? I think it's 5
could
now.
Have been 6, now 5.
Yeah.
But they
Exactly.
they literally have to lose 2 games for us to get into to play to be there, and we have to win every game. So now we need to rely on their results. No
You're
shit.
right. You're right. You're right.
It's not good.
Let's pull up this one coming from Stu
That's right.
MC. It
Different
says Declan
midfielders,
Rice
Stu.
agenda. Granit
That's right.
Xhaka had been fluent and facilitated the left side of our midfield.
Yep.
Rice
Yep.
gets caught in transition time
Yep.
after time. You're spot on.
Yep.
Martinelli, Saints, but Saints. Okay, Martinelli. Okay, since he arrived,
Since he
with
arrived
his
with his
West
West
Ham
Ham tempo.
tempo.
Well, he's right. See,
He's right.
when we were talking about the midfield pairing here, I said you could probably put Moreno beside Eze. But what I want
You
is
said
I
that.
want Eze and Odegaard.
Mm.
I want Eze, Odegaard, and Zubimendi. And I know, and it's like, and you're 100%. Declan Rice is slow, but you know what it is, Stu? He's a 6. That's why he's getting caught in transition. He's a 6. He's not an 8. He's a 6, being forced to play 8. Right? Much like Xhaka was an 8 being forced to play 6. Remember when Xhaka was playing 6 and everyone's like, oh shit, but he was an 8. When we put him in position, just like you've said here, Xhaka was awesome.
Exactly.
But it's horses for courses. An 8 is an 8, a 6 is a 6. And that's our problem here. We've got 2 quality number 6s. One worth £100 million, one worth 60 or 70 million pound. But that's on the manager. We have Mikel Merino, who's an 8. You have Martin Odegaard, who's an 8. But if you put the total costs together, this is what's happening. It's fucked. But yeah, I get you. You're 100% right. But he is a 6, in my opinion. But that's a very good comment there, man. Big up. Very good comment.
Big up. I think this one is also coming from Stu MC2.
Like Sean Maguire before him. There's excuses after excuse.
Excuse.
Well, I think yeah, the English players do get a bit of praise over the others, but he is a 6, and if we play him as a 6, we'll see a better version of Declan Rice. But it's a different style of 6, right? He's not like Zubimendi, so it's look. He's a great player. He was supposed to be Partey's replacement. Remember? That's what I remember. This is the replacement for Thomas Partey, and then someone wanted to be a genius and turn him into an 8. And then when that didn't work out, he bought Kai Havertz and played him as an 8. Right? Then he bought Odegaard, who's an 8, and played him as an... Anyway.
So, okay. But this one is also coming from Branny K. Shout out the legend. Branny saying Zubimendi must have played as an 8 in Spain. Why not try to play him there and play Rice in the 6? Let's see. But Zubi also I think will also struggle with the pace also, because we also know that he's also not your quickest kind of midfielders also. But I think in terms of quick thinking, what to do with the ball, I would give that to Zubi. I think Zubi does that better than Rice in terms of ball distribution, in terms of control of the game. I think it does that so much better. But I want us to talk about Gabriel Martinelli, because this is a player that you have criticized. I've criticized. We've called for him to be sold. I've said it on all my channels, on my socials, that I need him to be sold, because I thought, yes, this is the perfect time for us to, catch in on Martinelli and reinvest that that amount for a player that would be an upgrade on Martinelli. But in the last 2 games, Martinelli has been an impact player. Martinelli has come on from the bench and has given us goals and moments that defines the result and the game. So, and I think Martinelli is rightly now due for some credit, because he's bringing in the goods, he's bringing impact in games where we need him to come on and impact the game. I think when we criticize when the player is not performing well, when the player begins to perform well, we also need to give the player their well-deserved credit. So shout out to Gabriel Martinelli. He's doing what we expect him to do, is, bringing in the goods and getting the goals, getting in the action. So shout out to Martinelli. You deserve credit now. I've criticized you when I think it deserves that criticism, and now I also think it deserves the credit. So I'll call it spade a spade. Credit to Martinelli. But bro, what are your thoughts about Martinelli's performance today, and also how he came into the game against Athletic Bilbao, and impacted the game?
I think that's his new role at Arsenal. Impact sub, all day, all day. Gabriel Martinelli in this game, wow, his goal 10 times better than Haaland. 10 times. Haaland's goal was good. Martinelli's goal was wonderful. That finish to chip a keeper the size of Donnarumma. Donnarumma is not small. The guy's bigger than a station wagon. He's bigger than an estate. And he chipped him. And he made it look easy. Even Donnarumma turned around and he's like, please no. Quality. Great. Great finish. But Martinelli can't play the left wing for Arsenal. He can't. He just can't. It's not going to work. We've tried it. I think if Gabriel Martinelli is going to be a player at Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli is an impact sub. And much like Brenny is saying there, Trossard as well. Now, Trossard is getting older, and we are going to have to flick one. And I believe it's going to either have to be one or the other. But either or. Unfortunately, it has to happen. My problem is we don't need to let it get to that point. So good on Gabriel Martinelli. Great goal. You've been doing great. Well done. Well done. You're awesome. But we don't need to make it that difficult. We don't need to be in that position. We didn't need to be in this game. We didn't. But yeah, no, he's been good, man. That goal, that finish, wow. The way he chipped Donnarumma to see you later, dude. Nice knowing you. You're coming out? Watch this. Come out. And he had pressure on him. Goalkeeper, defender, the whole lot. He's like, watch this. Good finish. A lot better. That finish was better than his finish against Bilbao. That finish.
This one was better. Crips.
If that was Haaland, everybody would be talking about it. If that was Haaland, everybody would be talking about it. That was a very
top
finish.
goal. That was a top goal. Top goal.
All day.
And this is coming from Brenny, and you already agree with him. And I also, see eye to eye with Brenny also on this one, saying Martinelli and Trossard should just have the impact sub roles. And I would not disagree with Brenny. I think this is spot on. Martinelli knows how to work hard in games. Yes, we'll give that to Martinelli. But like Brenny said, great finish today from Gabriel Martinelli. And I think we'll continue to see him in this role and continue to, have him come on in games where teams are already tired. And Martinelli, we know he has got the legs, he has got the engine to continue to run and stretch defense and, put tired legs to work in terms of the opposition. So let's hope that we'll continue to see Martinelli. And for me, Trossard, I was surprised to see Trossard starting this game. And I must say it did not really impact the game as we would have loved to see our left winger impact the game. But if you've not subscribed to the channel already, press the subscribe button and turn on the notification button. And also you can subscribe to my co-host's channel, the AussieGooner channel. On the link will be on the description of this stream. If you are doing a rewatch later, you can also check out the amazing work he's doing on the channel. You can catch me there, and you can also subscribe to the legend, the man, the legend, the myth. I call him the encyclopedia of Arsenal, Brenny K, Brenny K74. That's the channel of Brenny the legend. So, but it's been a fantastic one, my people, and it's almost been an hour on this stream where we've come on, we've rant for a couple of minutes, but we've also tried to break down the game as much as possible, as much as we can, with respect to the time that we have available at our disposal. But we talked about Mikel Arteta's midfield selection. We talked about Pep Guardiola and Manchester City packing the balls. We also talked about the impact subs in Saka, Eze, Martinelli, and also others. We also touched Ethan Nwaneri. But going into the next game, Steve, what would you like to see Arsenal do differently? We know we have to play away at Newcastle. which
Tough
has
game.
not been a
Tough.
good hunting ground for us in recent times. Because I know that I think the last time we went there, we got beaten last season, right?
I'm pretty sure. And my problem is,
Mm,
I don't want to see Bukayo Saka start this game.
Why?
He's
Just
not
not.
ready. He's not ready. He's not ready. He's not. We need him for the rest of the season. I need Noni to start. I need Noni to start. And I need us to start looking like a team that wants to win a game. And what I really want to see, what I have to see in this game, is Noni on the right. I need to see Ethan Wanyeri in the middle of the park. I need to see Eze on the left. And you pick Merino or Declan Rice. I am saying Merino. I'm actually saying Merino here. Not Declan Rice. Not Declan Rice. I'd rather Moreno because Dex is more like a 6. Moreno's more like an 8. And that's the midfield I want to see. And with Zubimendi, and of course the backs, they pick themselves. They pick themselves. Mosquera, yeah, chuck him in. Why not? Who cares? We've got the best defenders in the league, bar none. Bar none. Nathan Ake, John Stones, cool story. Cool story. I've got Mosquera here, Nkape there. I've got quality, bro, everywhere. But I need to see that midfield. We take that midfield, and it's not an easy midfield to beat in Newcastle, huh? They got a solid midfield. Tonali is there. They got Gumaresh. They got a good team. We need to be able to create. Yeah, we need to create. So for me, if we don't create and we hold back on Newcastle, they'll punish us. We can't play this game where it's slow. So I think what I want to see, I won't see it, but what I want to see Noni back on the right side. I want to see Gyökeres, of course, play the 9. No one's taking that position from him. No one. I want to see on the left-hand side, I want to see Eze. And I want Eze to be given a green light to cut in, to always cut in centrally, to literally cut in centrally and drive his run centrally, with Ethan Wanyeri as the 10, Mikel Merino as the 8, Zubimendi as the 6. I need to see that lineup. I see that lineup. We beat Newcastle 3-0. We beat him 3-0 there. All day, 3-0 there, that lineup. All day, no problem. And Gyökeres scores again. And he scores again. I guarantee you, that lineup, Gyökeres scores again. I guarantee that. But that won't happen. We won't get the lineup.
I kind of disagree with you on that, bro, with respect to the lineup and what we could potentially see if that, that's the lineup. Because for me, I think we need to go out there and play in a very attacking way and play with players that would create opportunities for Victor Gyökeres. Because yet again, this is another game where I think, he had very little in terms of the chances, because from the first half,
two.
Because
the ball across from Trossard and the ball in from the ball in from Declan Rice. That's it.
Because from the first half, that midfield was not going to create no chances for him to score. And I think Mikel Arteta is doing the striker a disservice with how he has set up us in some of those games. I think he needs to bring in players that would get the best out of Victor Gyökeres, and that midfield pairing of Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, and Mikel Merino, it's not it at all. But my people, it's been almost an hour on the stream. It's been, I think it's late for me, early for Aussie, but I want to give a big shout out to my co-host, the AussieGooner. You can also check out this channel at the AussieGooner. You will find the link to this channel on the description of this stream. And if you're catching us a little bit late, you can go back to do a rewatch. We talked at length about the midfield combination for Arsenal, how we think that it's not going to work. We talked about Mikel Arteta. We talked about the team's performance. We also talked about Manchester City packing the balls in their very defensive shape. We talked about, the impact from the substitute in Saka, in Eze, in Martinelli. But like Brendan K is saying now, it's been a fantastic stream. But it's not going to be possible without everybody that tune in. So I want to say a big thank you to Brendan K, a big thank you to Steve MC, to Stu MC, a big thank you also to Naga Guna. Thank you for the support, my brother. And a big thank you to Arsenal above all, and everybody, that made this stream a success with your like, with your subscription, and also your comments later on. You can leave your comments about your thoughts on the game. I will be in the comments. But before we end the stream, Steve, where can the people find you beside the channel? I know I'm going to put the description to your channel,
Yeah.
but just tell people where they can find you on the different socials also.
Oh, well, you guys will find me on Instagram. So on Instagram, you'll see me posting there. So if you do, jump on at the AussieGooner. I'm there. No numbers, nothing. AussieGooner, that's it. And you'll find me on Insta. I'm posting stuff on story, this and that, just shits and giggles, just for vibes. But you will see me on other channels, Never a Foul, Big Six Bands, and you'll see me on the Football Terrace. And from time to time, I'm going to be on the Armory, of course, having a chit chat, this and that with Bobby and Brenny and all the boys. So, and if not there, I'll be here. So that's where you guys will catch me, man. And from time to time on my channel, but yeah, that's when I can, right? So turn the bell notification on here, guys, and turn the bell notification on my channel if you can too, because as soon as we drop content, you will know. You will know.
Big up to you, my brother, and big up to Arsenal above all. And once again, thank you for making the stream a success. I think it would not have been possible without each and every one of you. So I remain your host, Akpos. You can also find me on the channel, and you can also find me at Akpos_810 on Instagram, where I'm also dropping, I'll drop in snippets from the streams and all the Arsenal content and all the content I do in general in terms of the football world. But it's been a fantastic one, my people. As we'll say, every good thing has also got their time and season where it will come to an end. But till we'll see you again, Arena Post. Stay safe out there, my people, and enjoy a fantastic week. And bye-bye for now.